What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville season number 4, you guys. This is episode number 13, and the episode was titled Wind and Grind, you guys. So, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed, I'm gonna need you guys to do me that solid favor and just stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on those post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And you guys, with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? All right, you guys, so Love and Marriage Huntsville, we start up, so you guys know that the guys are on their way down to Atlanta for this guys trip that Martell has put together for the men. So they get to the house and Melnika welcomes them to the house. Baby, Melnika said, I'm gonna be on camera, so baby, I'm gonna dress up and down so that way y'all can't say nothing about old Melnika. So she welcomes them to the house, and the house is nice. So then we see, Tiffany and Tiffany. Lewis calls Tiffany. He's telling Tiffany what's, that they just made it there. Don't really know what's going on, but he's gonna figure it out. Marceau calls Letitia, tells Letitia, hey, we've made it here. Same with Maurice. So then we see the men and they get ready and they go downstairs. And when they get downstairs, it is a room full of women there. And I was just like, okay, what is going on here? And Martell was in his interview saying that the reason that there's nothing but women there is because, with when it comes to when it comes to red wines, is especially sweet red wines, it's pretty much women who are the number one consumers of that. I was like, okay, is that true or not? Because I don't necessarily know that that's true, but I mean, if he say so, I am going to believe him. But why not? There are a lot of questions that I got about this wine tasting. Why did you have to go to Atlanta? Why all women? Like you didn't have a small yay. You don't know what a small. I mean, you could. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let Martell have it. So they sit down with the women and they drink their wine, and the women all talk about how good the wine was. I'm sorry, you guys, but whenever I know that shit says Inez, right? But whenever I look at it, to me it screams incest. I'm sorry, but whenever I see the name of that wine, I'm like, does that? I know he named it after his grandmother. I'm not cracking on that, but I'm sorry, but that name just looks like it says incest. It looks like it says incest. That's all I think about when I see the name of that wine, and I would not buy it. But I'm not a red wine guy. I know that there's like some cupcake red wine that's kind of sweet, and I like that. But as far as just regular red wine, I never understood what people saying. It is the most bitter taste ever. That is bitter to me. Give me a white wine anytime. If you say you want some wine, I'm always ask you what kind do you have. Is it white or is it red? And I know people say, well, with certain foods you should drink a red wine with this. I don't like red wine. It's bitter. Because I actually bought a red wine once before to eat with something, and that wine, I was just like, oh my God, this wine is nasty. I was like, who in the hell could drink this shit? And I went and bought me some white wine. Like, I can down some white wine in a heartbeat. Red, I can't. And that's the interesting thing. Like, I can drink. So when it comes to me with drinking, I love white wine. I love a good beer. I love, vodka. Actually, I hate vodka. I love tequila. I love margaritas. I love all kind of drinks, but I just can't do I just can't do the red wine. I can't do it. Never have been able to find. Maybe one day I'll find one that is perfect for me, but at this point, he has yet to find it. But yeah, so they tell how they feel about the wine. Then at one point, Melnika had them do a wine shark, kind of like Shark Tank, where the men would be pitching to the women, and I was like, okay, I guess. So then we move back over to Huntsville, and we see Kimmy and Letitia, and actually Jalen. We saw Jalen. So they're working. So Kimmy and Letitia sit down with each other, and Kimmy is kind of, questioning some things like, why did Martell have to go to Atlanta? Why did it have to be just the guys? Martell doesn't drink. Martell is not a cook, so they're talking about the cookbook as well as the wine. Why all of this? Which is a great question. Why did they have to go to why Atlanta? Like, y'all are still coming off the heels of the last Atlanta trip that was posted on social media. So we thought it was it I mean, we all know how Martell is. He thinks everything is funny and a joke. But yeah. So, and Letitia was like, well, Marcel could have asked, some of us, like, he could have invited the ladies and we could have told him what we thought about the wine. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. I'm going to keep saying it because that is true. He really actually could have invited the entire cast with the exception of Melody and asked them. He could have even done it in Huntsville. I'm just kind of confused about why Atlanta. Like, if it was, I could see it if it was, manufactured. I could see it if there was a wine distillery in Atlanta that makes his Inez wine. I could see that. Then we're at the distillery and we're right there with the wine being made. But that's not the case. I don't think. I could be wrong. I don't think so. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna pause here and move forward. All right, guys. So this episode, when you actually sit and think about this episode, it was centered around this guy's trip to Atlanta. So the men went to, after they did the wine tasting with the women, they gonna have fun. It's just gonna be the boys. They going to the strip club. I don't know what strip club they went to. It looked dead. Just saying, that strip club looked dead. Then they looked like they were hella bored. I know Maurice said he's not really into strip clubs. Marceau said he's not into strip clubs. I was like, okay, y'all are not into strip clubs, and every man is not gonna be into the strip clubs. I get that. I love the strip clubs. I love a strip. Take me to a strip club. Give me some wings and shit while we there. I love a strip club. But they were just so. I was looking at Marceau at one point, so he had a shot glass in his hand and he was sipping on it. I'm like, so that is a shot. Chug it back. But he didn't. They smoking cigars. Martell. Whoa. The things that you say, the things that were coming out of your mouth to that stripper. He asked her, what did he ask that stripper? He asked that stripper if he can have some of that tonight. Am I gonna have some of this tonight? I was like, ugh, nasty. And disrespectful as hell to say that to this woman. Because she is just doing her job, and here you are asking her, are you gonna get some of that tonight? And then you gonna tell Maurice, that might be baby number 6. Okay. You sounded like Nick Cannon at this point. Baby number 6. Just flat out goddamn respectful. Flat out disrespect. I would have slapped the shit out of him. And then when he asked the girl, am I having some of this tonight? She said, I don't think you can handle this. Baby, I wouldn't even said that to him. I would have said, excuse you? I would turn around and look at him like, whoa, who are you talking to? I am just here to hear. I would have hit him with a diamond. I'm not a diamond with a ebony. I came here just to dance for y'all. Like, I would have been like that. I came here just to dance. Mm-mm-mm. Ain't no way. So, after that, we go into the next morning. So, we see that Marceau has lost his voice. And, you know, at one point, Lewis made the joke because they were talking, because they were looking, and I don't know if Marceau, not Marceau, but Martel saw somebody. He was like, "What is it, Mel? Well, the original Mel." And then Marceau was like, ha, 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 ha. He said the original Mel, not the crispy Mel, not the. It's original, the spicy, the crispy. Because he's talking about KFC. If you guys, he's being funny. I'm like, huh? Why are we joking about Mel? Mel ain't done shit, and while neither Mel Nika nor Melody have done anything, so why are we making jokes? So then Marcel was like, well, you know what? You need another Mel. Third time's a charm. Okay, I mean, I guess if you say so. Kind of interesting. Why are we talking about Mel? So then Martell is telling the guys what they're going to be doing for the day. So they're going to be going to one of those rage rooms. I actually would love to do that. When they went to the rage room, it did look like it was a good time that they had. So I would absolutely 100% love to go to a rage room and just see what is giving. So after the rage room, it's talking about the fact after the rage room, it'll be them heading to Martell's I Nest event. And again, that big ass sign in the yard, at the house. Again, I know it says I Nest, but when my eyes see it, my eyes are trying to transpose that into incest. Martell, I think you might want to be. I really think you want to go through a rebrand. I know that it is to honor your grandmother, but we might want to go through a rebranding because that is too close to incest. It is way too close to incest. I'm just saying. I applaud you for, doing what you're doing. The guys talking about how proud of Martell they are, and he says that he's better mentally and everything. Congratulations. Again, that name. Can you flip it, rub it down? Can you flip it some kind of way? Flip it. Oh, you guys, I did forget to mention something about Tisha. So when Letitia and Kimmy were talking, Letitia was basically talking about the Atlanta trip. She's talking about the rumors that are out there about Marceau. And she just, she puts her faith in God. God knows her. And, God knows what she doesn't know. So whatever is done in the dark will eventually come to the light. But the question that I always say when it comes to Letitia is, if there is, hardcore proof that Marceau is in fact cheating on her, would Letitia leave? Like, I wonder that question. I wonder that, but Letitia is gonna stay in her marriage until she and we can say whatever we want to say about Letitia, but in that aspect, I actually have to say I respect Letitia because she's not going to let outside forces destroy her marriage without any factual proof and evidence. So in that regard, I gotta say I do have respect for Letitia. That's it. That's all I gotta say about Letitia. So you guys, let's pause here and move forward. So you guys, this next scene, I don't really know why we needed it. It's Melody and Tiffany. They're going shopping. And I was just like, wow. The less I see of Tiffany, the better. And so far this season, I can say that Tiffany hasn't gotten on my nerves, but I still don't 100% see it from Miss Tiffany. So Tiffany is thanking Melody for going down to Utah with her. She's talking about how the trip was enlightening and she potentially may go back to Utah with the information that she found out. And I'm like, what information did you really find out? They didn't tell you anything. All that man that was outside of the barbershop said was that your mama and her friend hung around black men. I'm pretty positive we can tell that you're biracial. Then they were talking about the fact that people were lynched in the 70s. You weren't born in the 70s, allegedly. So I just, and then she's talking about, Melody was this and this and that for her, and Lewis couldn't be that for her. I'm like, Melody, and let's be real, Melody didn't do it, from what we saw from the clips from what they showed us in the episode. Melody didn't do a lick of shit. Neither did you. Y'all just asked a question. And the man, like I said, the man told y'all about the lynching. Then the man at the barbershop told you that your mama hung around black men and her little white friend did that. So I'm just like, what the hell is so different about you potentially going with your husband as opposed to you going with Mel? Because you still came out of this. You know what? Tiffany believes she got something out of it. I just don't know what she got out of it. You didn't get a name. You didn't get a phone number. You didn't get an address. You didn't get nothing. So what did you really gather from that trip? Because you're still playing Blue's Clues at this point. At this point, you're still playing Blue's Clues. You got one clue, and that was that man. So you draw a stick figure in your handy dandy notebook. So let's get our handy dandy notebook out and draw a stick figure of a man. Okay. So what does a stick figure have to do with Tiffany? Let's keep digging, right? Because I mean, you ain't got shit. You have nothing, Tiffany. So yeah, we gonna have to go into that handy dandy notebook and find some more clues. Because all you got is, we got 2 clues, but they're both stick figures. So we got a black stick figure, okay, and then we got 2 white stick figures who hung out with the black stick figure. We know who your mother is. We don't know who the black stick figure is. That's what we're trying to figure out. So we're gonna have to keep digging for some more clues. And I'm girl, you're funny, Tiffany. You're funny. So then they started talking about, they were talking about, Tiffany. Tiffany is interesting. So Tiffany is talking about the fact that Lewis, because they were looking at an outfit. She's like, oh, I don't think I can wear this, but you can, Mel. She's like, that would have, him, that would. She's talking about the fact that Lewis craves more sex. And I was just like, well, if Lewis is craving sex, how are they going to have a baby? Because A and B have to come together to make C. Right? Am I wrong or am I wrong? Because you have to have the mother, you have to have the father. Right? You have to have sex. You have to have a sexual intercourse. The man has to ejaculate. It doesn't have to be sperm. It could be semen. It has to swim up to the egg. And it has to attach to said egg. That creates said said baby, right? Okay. Maybe my anatomy is wrong, but it's not. Because she says he's sexually needy. I'm like, well, if he's sexually needy, how are you trying to have a baby with him? The math doesn't add up. Like 2 plus 2 is not equaling 4. It's really giving 6. And I'm just like, okay, Tiffany, girl. Do you? So then they talk about the five. They talk about love languages, and Mel says, "Well, have you ever told him what your love language is? Because you know how well Scorpios are." So once again, Mel, it's okay to be a Scorpio now, and I'm still confused. What the fuck did Letitia and Destiny say about you being a Scorpio? Because you keep talking about it. You know how us Scorpios are, and Mel was talking about what her love language is. I think her love language is physical touch, right? I could be wrong. I wasn't really paying much attention because I don't. When it comes to Tiffany, it's like Charlie Brown's teacher. Womp 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 womp. That's what I hear when I see when Tiffany is on the screen. So yeah, Mel's love language is physical touch, I believe, and I think Tiffany's is acts of service. My love language is receiving gifts. Mine is receiving gifts because I don't like physical touch. Oof. Unless I know you. I don't like physical touch. I do like quality time, but I mostly like quality time to myself. Acts of service, I don't need that. The fuck? And then, yeah, I know. But yeah, receiving gifts is mine. So Mel suggests that she should sit down and have a conversation with Lewis about that. What good will it do? I'm really trying to think about what good would it do. Because Tiffany's talking about how busy she is. Excuse me, y'all. She's talking about how busy she is, and then she's talking about how she feels Lewis might feel a way about that. Well, once again, Tiff. Let's talk. Once again, if you're so busy that your husband is sexually needy and you want a baby, how does that add up? It's not adding up. It literally doesn't add up. You're already busy, so that means you don't have enough time to sit down and have sex. Then you want to bring a baby into the mix, so that's going to make things even more challenging. Child, Tiffany just needed a storyline this season. I'm starting to come to that realization. Then she's talking about she's worried about him being in Atlanta with the guys, and him being sexually frustrated, and she's just worried. She's just hoping he doesn't do anything. If you knew that the man was sexually frustrated, you saw all the drama from the last guys trip, then why would you say, yeah, baby, go to Atlanta? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But okay. So then we see the guys. They went to what the fuck was that thing called? The Rage something? The Rage Room. They started tearing things up. And in this last scene where they were in the van, Maurice, if little Maurice doesn't want to play football, any kind of sport, that is on him, not you. You can't make that kid do anything he doesn't want to do. And it was, listening to him talk, I'm like, okay, I can't with parents who do that. Want to put their kid, especially when they're at a certain age, you want to put them in shit that they don't necessarily want to be in. It's because you want them to be in it, and you're living vicariously through your kids. Then Lewis talks about this sexual frustration with Tiffany. I don't care enough about that because, again, how did Lewis and Tiffany go from being so happy and in their, how did they go from being so happy a year ago to now 2 years in we're having issues? It's giving fake in the storyline. But you guys can let me know what you guys thought about that and this episode in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. So, Love and Marriage DC That video, you guys, is going to be late because I haven't watched the episode yet. So I'll see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow for that. But I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.